Check.
1, 2, 3.
Let's go!
Hey, kids.
Hey, Dad.
War crimes will be prosecuted.
Does the word duh mean anything to you?
Yeah, I chose this profession, so therefore I earned beer.
You want to go to the matinee?
The feeling is definitely there.
You don't know my name!
It's a new morning in America.
This is the old dude, Howard J. Reynolds. Step into my office.
Not going to be too many punks.
Don't you stop worrying about the punk?
Fuck you. That's my name.
Yeah, let's go to the punk rock show.
Introducing for your listening pleasure.
All right, let's go. High Fives Podcast, episode 23. I think it's 23.
I think I missed 22.
Wow. You bring a guest in and
Who's that guy? We didn't even get to this guy before he started talking. I was going to say we have a very special show tonight. Michael's here, and then you would say
Nate's here.
no. You would say hello.
Hello?
And I would say, well, that's not the special treat. What a letdown that would be.
Yeah, it's true.
And here's our guest.
But I wore pants.
Here's our guest, Jeff Munt, who flew all the way from Vancouver just to do this podcast. So thanks, Jeff.
Yeah,
thanks for your commitment. It's flattering.
Yeah, that's definitely why I flew out to Calgary.
Right?
Definitely.
Yeah. It's nice to have you. It's nice to have you here. So this is our third guest on the show. Jeff's a longtime listener, lazy list provider, I'd say. Is that fair?
That's fair. I did do the list of just one singer over and over again.
Yeah, like Frank Black, Frank Black, Frank Black, Frank Black, Frank Black.
But it was Jeff and me talk about the lists.
Yeah.
Okay.
He just doesn't want to offend you.
Okay. Yeah, that's fair enough. We've all got our people, right? There's the Mike group and there's the Nate group.
Yeah.
I'm really bad at making lists. I'm not as, I don't know, knowledgeable as you guys maybe.
The word's nerdy.
Nerdy me. I don't know.
I think I was thinking about this more and more, and like this list in particular, which we'll get to in a moment, was one of the harder ones I felt like that we've done so far. And it made me think like, if I wasn't doing this tonight, there's no fucking way I'd make this list. I would have started it and been like, no, I'm done. So
is that your caveat? So if somebody's like, wow, Nate's list sucked tonight. You're like, just to clear things up, I rushed through this.
Smart, right?
I mean,
smart.
Compared to his usual lists that are just spot on.
And Jeff's in with an early one.
Let's edit him out here. This guy's going to be a jerk.
So Jeff, being the guest of the show, and as the rule goes, the guest of the show gets to decide on the list. So Jeff, why don't you tell us what you chose for our top 5 list this episode?
Our topic is Love at First Listen.
And these are bands that were Love at First Listen, correct?
Yes.
Because I think there was a little bit of discussion as to whether it was albums, songs, bands.
We figured Mike couldn't narrow it down to songs or albums.
Well, yeah, that's pretty clear. Can't even do that to people. I don't even have top 5 for that. No, I'm just kidding.
So, top 5 bands that were Love at First Listen. I don't know. This was super hard for me. Was it? I mean, did you have a list going when you kind of threw this one out there?
3 of them are really easy.
Okay.
And then filling out those last 2 slots they changed quite a bit.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty content with what I came up with.
Okay.
I feel like I fall in love with things pretty easy, like music-wise.
Yeah.
Like, oh, this is the greatest thing ever. But so that was a little bit tough in that way because I'd go through I went through all my CDs and I was like looking and I was like, huh, yeah, I love that band. When I first listened to it, would I ever listen to it again? That was sort of my caveat on it. Would I ever listen to it again after being like crazy about it the first time? So
I feel like I'm the opposite of that. Like I don't fall in love with anything. It takes a long time for me to, find some commitment within a band. And but at the same time, like I think most of the bands that I do really like, it took a long time to kind of really start to like them.
Mm-hmm. Well, my favorite bands, it's generally like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I always find like the albums that I'm like disappointed with, I'm like, oh, that was okay. But then like the long lasting one, those ones end up being like the really good albums that like kind of grow on you.
Yeah.
Rather than the ones that you fall in love with like right off the bat.
Like a summer fling.
Yeah.
Yeah. which we've discussed, all about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I also
I'm the
find
king
like
of fling.
I find like on a lot of albums, that song that you love it, right? Like first listen, that favorite song, you end up falling out of love with pretty easily.
Yeah.
And it's those songs that kind of sneak up on you that are the ones that become your favorites in the end. So it's hard to do a love at first listen, and it's something that you're going to stick with over the long term.
Yeah.
So before we get to the love at first listens, what have you guys been listening to? What have you been listening to?
I'm pretty sure we've all been listening to the same thing.
Yeah, the Menzingers
Yeah.
after the party.
So good.
Yeah. It is really
Speaking
good.
of love at first listen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I mean it's a solid fucking album. And the thing with that band, and I had listened to more of their back catalog kind of in the days leading up to the release. There are things in each and every one of their albums that I hear for the first time years later.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that's the same for you guys. Like that band, their albums just continue to kind of evolve for me.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Like I feel like they're one of those bands that have like gotten better at each album.
Yeah.
And like they've changed their sound just that little notch where you're like still interested and captivated. So they're not writing the same songs.
Yeah.
But they're not doing like let's say a band like Brand New, which is like
Thrice.
totally jumped. And they're
Thrice.
like, yeah, you can just be like they
Thrice.
wanted nothing to, yeah, Thrice is a good example too. Sorry, I get it. Did you want to say a band
No,
name?
but-
Did you have an example of a band?
But you're right. Like,
Did
I
you
mean,
say Thrice is a band?
I would. Yeah.
Oh.
I'd say it 3 times actually, as in thrice.
Oh.
Yeah.
Look at that pun.
No?
No.
But yeah, I feel like you're right. Like they do it enough to not alienate their listeners,
Mm-hmm.
like some of those other bands have done. But yeah, it's a solid fucking record.
Even like, I think there's one song in there, maybe Black Mass. The first few times I was like, I don't get this song, but now it's starting to grow on me too as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, that was almost a skippable song for me for the first couple listens, and I don't know, like, there's nothing I skip over now. And I've listened to it way too much already.
I feel like that last song's a little weird and doesn't fit for me.
Yeah,
It's
not the best song on the album, but it's
No.
still it seems like a bad Menzinger song is still better than most bands. Well, let's say average songs.
yeah.
Let's not sell them that hard, but like I would be happy to write an entire album of bad Menzinger songs. I would put that out proudly.
Yeah. Yeah, true enough. What about Bad Bob and the Saget songs?
I still never heard them.
No?
No.
Well, Jeff, you're in for a treat.
I hope
we
it's on
have
your
them
list.
here tonight. Come on down, Bob and the Saget.
I hope it's on your list.
Let's
But I mean,
talk
like,
about-
also, like, on relating to the topic of what we're doing tonight, I find, like, Rented World was that album that I loved to death immediately. Like, I couldn't stop listening to it, and now it's totally faded for me. Like, I never listened to it.
Yeah, I would say the same thing with that one. Chamberlain Waits I still can go back to a lot. Listen
Yeah,
to
I think
over
we
and
both
over.
agree it's our favorite album.
Yeah, I'm in that crew too.
Yeah.
Impossible Past is one of those ones that I come back to though, and like find new things in that music. That band's great.
I feel like Rented World maybe had been their like rushed album, like where they were like, we need to get an album out, so like.
Well, it was also the
and
first.
it's cookie and it's awesome.
Was
still.
that the first Epitaph record?
Wasn't on the Impossible Past of Epitaph record?
Yeah,
I think so.
If we did research, I would know.
Here we go.
You said you were gonna do some.
Well, no. I didn't say I was going to do research. I just like to point out when you guys don't do it. So.
Well, let's talk about the other 2 releases that came out that same day, which were probably passed over a little bit, which is Dave House and the Japan Droids too. I don't know if you guys are fans of. I mean, you're from Vancouver.
I've never listened to
Japan Droids or Dave House.
Well, I've listened to Dave House, but I'm not a
fan.
I'm not a listener of Dave House.
Okay,
so I'll just silently sit here while you talk about it.
Okay, well, thanks for coming in tonight, Jeff.
I haven't listened to the Japan Droids yet, so
I'll eat another pretzel. Wait for Mike to get me another water.
You'll be waiting a long time.
I haven't listened to the Japan Droids yet.
No.
So I'm planning to, but I had an iTunes incident, so
Yes.
my listening has been very minimal.
It's consumed me.
Yes.
Your iTunes incident.
Well, you were my venting.
You're venting hole.
Yes,
let's
that's
call
what I was
it.
trying to think.
You're
I was trying to think
venting
of what it was.
hole.
I think Mike's also looking for a way out of this list. It's like, oh, my iTunes. That's why my list is what it is.
It's a hard list.
I would gladly trade my 200 list to never have to deal with what happens with my iTunes.
So let's pass over Dave House and
the Dave House. I would like to discuss the Dave House for a second.
Let's get in it.
What did you think of it?
I don't know. It's I like it, but it's different. Like I've listened to it a bunch of times, but it just it feels like a really different record than he's ever done before.
To me, it doesn't feel like an album. It feels like there's
lots of singles.
Lots of singles, but not an album.
Yeah, I got that too.
So like, there's stuff I like about almost all the songs, but it just doesn't feel like it flows.
I feel like before there was like punk rock sensibility within his writing, and I feel like now it's just he's done a complete departure from that, and he's just writing as the style he writes.
Yeah, I see
you know
that.
what I mean? Does that make sense?
Yeah. I like it though. That's the weird thing is I still like the album. It's just not an album. I don't know. It's just not a full album. It's just I like the songs. I really like that Dirty Fucker song, and you hate it. You said right?
Well, I don't hate it. It
You
just
refer to
feels
it as
like
pop
a
country.
Ford commercial. That if it didn't say "fucker" 9,000 times in it, it would probably be on a
That's fair.
commercial. But I do. Yeah, there's bits about it that I like. Yeah.
Lyric wise, I think the album's pretty good.
Yeah.
So because you can tell he went through something. It's like it's pretty like personal. I would say.
Yeah. Yeah. And I like those kind of albums, right? When somebody's got something inside to say. Yeah. Okay. Well, let's get on to the list then.
Yes.
I feel like Jeff should start.
Okay.
Since it was my list.
I feel like it's your list. I feel like you should start, and let's move around the table this way.
Should I
clockwise? Hey.
Yeah, clockwise. Let's have some order.
Should I do it like Nate does it? And like this band is a band that.
I love that you picked up on that.
That's my thing, Jeff. That's my thing. That's why people listen to this.
Okay.
It's my catchphrase. That's the cut me out for the High Fives podcast.
I won't do it then.
Every single time I mean to do that, and I can't. I forget about it.
It's a hard thing to remember.
It is.
Yeah,
you do a good job of it.
Thank you.
You've really owned it.
I've tried.
So, Jeff, is this a band?
This is a band. Okay, I'm starting with a Japanese band.
A Japanese band.
And I'm pulling some shenanigans on this first one because I'm not actually playing I'm not playing them doing the song.
Okay.
So it's the Blue Hearts, which are really famous for the song Linda, 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 which if Mr. Me First and the Gimme Gimme should know. They covered that.
Are you playing the Me First and the Gimme Gimme's cover of this band?
No, okay. There's a very good reason why I'm not doing their version. So I heard of the Blue Hearts from a movie called Linda, 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 which is, the Blue Hearts are basically like the first punk rock band to really break it in Japan. And like every Japanese person knows this song. Like I have Japanese friends over, I put it on, they're singing along right away. But so I watched the movie. It's about like these 4 high school girls or 5 playing in a band for their talent show or whatever. And all this high school drama goes on, and it's down to 3 girls, and they're looking for a singer. And they're sitting on a curb, and they're like, whoever walks through that corridor is going to be the singer of our band. And it's this Korean Japanese exchange student. And they're like, hey, do you want to play for or sing for our band? And she doesn't know what they're saying because she doesn't speak Japanese very well. So she's like, hi. And they're like, okay, we're doing the Blue Hearts. She's like, hi. And then she finds out later what she's doing, and she freaks out. But when she hears the song and understands the lyrics, she's like, yeah, I fucking got to do this. So it's just like, it's a really cool high school drama about these girls doing this song. So that's why I'm choosing from the soundtrack the girls actually doing a Blue Hearts song.
Ah, I see. So from the soundtrack.
Yes.
Okay.
So it's actually the actresses. They actually recorded an EP after the fact, like a 6-song EP of the Blue Hearts.
Oh, cool. Huh.
Right.
I like that. Is it a Japanese movie?
It's a Japanese movie, yes.
Okay. And the girl is American that comes, or
no, she's Korean. She's Korean.
Were you not listening to the story?
I was. I got confused.
Going to your brain.
I got confused. There was a lot happening in the story. Okay, cool.
I mean, it's an awesome movie. Like if you like any kind of music movie, and I mean, it just reminds me of being in a band in high school, and like it's so over the top dramatic when you're in a band and you're like, the stupidest things will break you up and make you argue with each other, and it's very much like that. And then it's a whole bunch of them bonding after that, and it's a lot of the same 3 songs over and over again as they're practicing it and getting. They start out horribly and getting better and better as the show goes on, but it's like one of my favorite movies. I love it so much.
So did you fall in love with the Blue Hearts then?
Yeah, and then right after that, look, they play their 3 best Blue Hearts songs in the movie, and you hear them a lot. And it's like, as soon as that movie was done, I was like, who the fuck is this band? I gotta know. And then I fell in love with them after that.
So were all the songs then written just specifically for the movie as well? Like
no, they were Blue Hearts songs.
Oh, Blue Hearts songs.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm having a hard time following it, but I am trying to keep up. Everyone else probably has this all. Yeah. Why does Nate have such a problem with this?
Blame your cold.
Tell you.
Blame
yeah,
your cold.
It's probably my cold. Yeah. Mike, to you?
I I went with Masked Intruder, which I know we've discussed on here before.
We have.
But
we actually played them last episode too.
Yeah, we did.
They were going to be on my list.
Really?
Yeah.
I did it because it's one of those bands like that I just found on Bandcamp.
Yeah.
Just randomly, I was like going through Bandcamp before
Fat,
before everything, and I found out they had the First Defense EP, I think it was.
Yeah.
And I just I heard that Stick 'Em Up song.
Yeah.
And I still like that version better than the one that came out on the Fat release.
Okay.
Is it Fat?
Fat did the first full length. Yeah.
So.
Well, I think it was like a re-release. Like it was Red Scare initially, wasn't it?
Yeah, maybe it might have been Red Scare first. I don't know. If only we did research.
What?
If only there were some device that we could look up these sorts of things.
I'm not giving any free plugs to Google or
If
Bing
only
anymore.
you hadn't sold all your encyclopedias.
Why?
Yeah. I told you, Mike, don't sell them. Don't sell them.
I really like this version of Stick 'Em Up, and so I went with that.
So
and
you chose Stick 'Em Up.
Yeah, and I went with Masked Intruder. So I'm
good.
a jerk.
No, Masked Intruder was going to be one of my picks. I fucking love that
But
band.
you're lazy.
But I'm lazy. Yeah. No, I'm not lazy. Jeff's lazy.
He picked a Japanese band that none of us have heard about from a random movie.
I also should mention, I didn't mention the name of the song because I'm not actually playing Linda, Linda, Linda.
Okay. See? Now you're having a hard time too.
Now
it's not
I'm
just
lost.
me. Yeah. We're going to try and pick this up after the first break here. So I'm going to start with, I think all of us probably, you went to that spot in your mind where you were like, it could be Good Riddance, No Effects, No Use for a Name, Rancid, like all those bands, right?
Yeah.
Like Bad Religion, whatever, right? And I think we all tried to make a concerted effort into not picking those. And I did not. Most of my list is actually those. Well, not true. Just the first one. But I picked a song from one of the first punk albums I ever got into. So like when I kind of made that transition from, listening to mostly alternative to listening to punk, the first two records I think was No Effects, Punk and Drublic, Ramones, Adios Amigos, which is a horrible fucking record, but I just knew the name Ramones and I was like,
Yeah.
well, that's the only one they have here. I'll get that. And then the third one was Let's Go by Rancid. And that album will always have a special place in my heart because I don't know, like it, they had mohawks and they looked grimy and it was a whole new kind of set of music. And the first song I ever heard from that record was Salvation, which I still really love. So I picked Salvation.
I almost went there, but I figured you were going to go with Rancid, so I was like, Nate's going to pick this. It's like I know you.
It is, yeah. It's like we have some kind of bond, Mike.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's not gold.
No.
So we'll go around the table. We've got...
Oh, this is going to be bad. So I'm doing the Blue Hearts, Owaranai Uta, which means endless song, and it's performed by Paran Maum.
Holy shit, Mike.
I'm doing the middle. I went with Masked Intruder, Stick 'Em Up.
Rancid.
explain. I think it's time for me to get paid. Give me your money, don't hesitate, or you'll regret it. Here in the alley, it's just you and me. And the homeless dude, but he's asleep. Give me your fucking money, I repeat. I got a knife. I got a number. I got a knife, yeah. Stick 'em up, stick 'em up, stick 'em up. I got a knife, motherfucker, stick 'em up. Stick 'em up, stick 'em up, stick 'em up. I got a knife, motherfucker, stick 'em up. I got your money, now it's time to flee. Don't try to send nobody after me. I got your address off your ID, and don't forget it. I'm taking money on a shopping spree. First the liquor store, the QVC. It's like a Merry Christmas just for me. Yeah! I got a knife. I got a knife. I got a knife. Stick 'em up, stick 'em up, stick 'em up. I got a knife, motherfucker, stick 'em up. Stick 'em up, stick 'em up, stick 'em up. I got a knife, motherfucker. One more time. Stick 'em up, stick 'em up, stick 'em up. I got a knife, motherfucker, stick 'em up. Stick 'em up, stick 'em up, stick 'em up. I got a knife, motherfucker, stick 'em up. Come on, baby, won't you show me what you got, yeah? I want your salvation, whoa. Come on, baby, won't you show me what you got, yeah? I want your salvation, whoa. This neighborhood called Black Hawk, where all the rich people hide. I was out of my local for the salvation, with the shelter is out inside. Every day we dive in the Black Hawk, we pick up the offerings, microwave or refrigerators for the tough ones. Come on, baby, won't you show me what you got, yeah? I want your salvation, whoa. Come on, baby, won't you show me what you got, yeah? I want your salvation, whoa. I can't believe these people live like kings here in the States, here, diamond rings. I'm a red, right on a mission. I'm in your front yard, what a suspicion. Come on, baby, won't you show me what you got, yeah? I want your salvation, whoa. Come on, baby, won't you show me what you got, yeah? I want your salvation, whoa. Come on, baby, won't you show me what you got, yeah? I want your salvation, whoa. Come on, baby, won't you show me what you got, yeah? I want your salvation, whoa. I can't believe these people live like kings here in the States, here, diamond rings. I'm a red, right on a mission. I'm in your front yard, what a suspicion. Come on, baby, won't you show me what you got, yeah? I want your salvation, whoa. Come on, baby, won't you show me what you got, yeah? I want your salvation, whoa. Come on, baby, won't you show me what you got, yeah? I want your salvation, whoa. Come on, baby, won't you show me what you got, yeah? I want your salvation, whoa. Come on, baby, won't you show me what you got, yeah? I want your salvation, whoa. Come on, baby, won't you show me what you got, yeah? I want your salvation, whoa.
Well, I don't think I'm caught up to all the story behind that song, Jeff, but I did like the song.
I'm not much of a storyteller, to be honest. I had it all in my brain, but from the point of my brain to my mouth, a lot gets changed. So
It's a distance,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Yeah, there's
I have
things
a lot
get
of forehead.
lost along the
But-
way.
but we both have a lot of forehead.
Yeah,
so
yeah. It's just the gift we've been given.
yeah.
So moving on, Jeff, why don't you indulge us with your second pick?
My second pick. Well, I'm gonna go with the Sahara Hot Nights.
Oh, nice. I like them a lot.
I feel like I don't know this band.
Sahara Hot Nights are 4 Swedish girls from northern Sweden.
Okay.
I think they started around 1991. I mean, they're pretty. As far as I know, they're huge in Europe. Well, relatively huge in Europe.
So like Field Day.
Yeah, that's
on the same touring circuit.
That's a logical connection. Yes. You might have to explain to people who Field Day is now.
No, they know.
No, they're big in Europe, man.
This is also big in Europe. This podcast.
I thought you were big in Australia.
And Australia, which is the same as Sweden, really.
Definitely. So, yeah, they're a pretty big band in Sweden. They had a minor hit on Much Music for a while, which is the song I'm playing called All Right, All Right. But they never really seemed to give North America a chance. Like, I saw them in Vancouver probably about a year before I moved there. I saw them at Richards on Richards, or Dicks on Dicks as we called it. And
was that the local lingo?
Well,
this is why I hate that city.
Yeah, let's talk about that, Mike.
No, we've done enough of that.
To be fair, I like Calgary about as much as you like Vancouver, so.
Wow. Wow. Strong words.
Yeah, no, it's fighting words. But at least we're both Flames fans, so it's all right.
Yeah, I guess.
So yeah, like happened to see them in Vancouver, I guess, I don't know, 2002, something like that. Absolutely blew off the roof off the place. They were awesome. Loved them ever since. They've changed a lot since that was their second album, which was more like punk rock, a little more garage rock. They got a lot poppier, but I love everything they've ever done, except maybe the covers album.
Are they still around?
They haven't done anything since 2011, but I mean, as far as releases, but they're still playing as far as I know. Yeah. They never come to America.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, like, I only know of the two more like punk rocky, like Donna's-esque kind of albums.
Yeah.
I didn't even know they were still around. I didn't know they kept going, or even that they were that big in Sweden. But.
They played huge. I don't know. This is just what I've heard from Swedish people, so it's not like I have firsthand knowledge. But they would play hockey arenas type things. I think
though, but like my understanding is there's more acceptance to like punk and metal and hard rock in like the Scandinavian countries, so I can believe it. So like,
I remember talking to this Swedish girl. I talked to her for years on the internet, and one day she's like, "Oh, do you like Refused? Oh no, they're probably too mainstream for you." And I was like, "What?" Like, because this was a point where Refused was still like nobody knew who they were.
Yeah.
And they're like, "That's mainstream in Sweden? Like, that doesn't even make sense to me."
Yeah, it's so weird. When I was DJing at the Republic, there was a band that came there, like a power metal band.
Mm-hmm.
Was it Volbeat?
No,
okay,
better band than that. I can't.
It's the only power
I can't
metal
think of their
band
name
I
right
know.
now, so I don't want to sound like an idiot and say it was somebody else. But they're like fairly big, like on the level of like Sonata Arctica and like Blind Guardian level.
Mm-hmm.
And then they came into so they're used to playing like giant stadiums, like football stadiums, like of people. And they came and they're like in this club, and there was like a few hundred people there, so it was like a bigger show for here, but it was just like not the level they were used to playing at. And the guys were doing like calisthenics, like doing stretches and stuff before they were going on, and they like put on all their leather pants and stuff. And I was like, I don't think they realized they're playing a little club here. Like, they were not used to that tight of a space on stage or anything. It was really weird, and I was like, I could see they were like kind of like dumbfounded by this whole.
Yeah, I think that's. I'm guessing that's probably what happened with the Sarah Hot Nights. They came over, played clubs. You know, they'd play Toronto, Vancouver, Montreal, New York, and LA, and then probably just were like, I don't want to pay my dues this way.
Yeah.
Possibly. I don't know.
Maybe.
I'm just speculating.
That's what your Swedish friend
Sounds like
on the
you're making
internet.
a lot of assumptions.
Your ICQ Swedish friends.
Yeah. Oh, no, I think we started on MSN Messenger.
Okay.
Actually met her on OkCupid.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Is that like a Tinder sort of?
Actually, OkCupid owns Tinder, but OkCupid predates Tinder by quite a bit.
Like a dating?
No, we're onto the dating podcast.
No, I'm intrigued by this.
Okay, let's move on.
No, because OkCupid like years ago was not necessarily a dating site. It was just a really fun way to meet people. And, of course, I was also younger. It's different when you're trying to meet people old like us. They actually want relationships and stuff, and not just
they don't want to talk about pals. They don't want to talk about Refused.
Nobody wants a pen pal anymore.
Sounds like how many people are Refused drawing in your stadiums over there.
I think prisoners are into pen pals. It might be something to look into.
But do they like Refused?
Some of them might.
Yeah. In Sweden.
There you go.
A Swedish prisoner.
You have found me a new hobby.
This is where you need to go.
Mike, your pick?
Hey, you can't direct this.
I don't know how they do things in Vancouver. But Nate runs a show here.
That's right. I'm the mayor.
I went with a band called Luther. I don't know if either of you guys have
I don't
listened
know
to
them at all.
I feel like I've heard that name before.
They were kind of one of those bands that came out of that Philly. You know, when kind of like when the Menzinger started, like all these bands just started pouring out of Philadelphia. Luther was one of those bands that I kind of caught on to from that.
Are they?
I wish you'd gone first because I have a Philly band. We could have done like magic here.
Yeah, but you've been to Philly. So I would just be like, yeah, this band's from Philly.
Is this an orgcore band? Well, that's a fair question.
No, they're more emo-ish than orgcore.
Emorgcore?
They're not glammy glam punk. But anyway, Luther's, as far as I know, they only put out this album, and it's called Let's Get You Somewhere Else. And the first time I heard it, it just kind of brought me back to those, like when I first fell in love with Get Up Kids and things like that. And I was like, oh, this is great. And it was kind of like at the height of the emo revival thing.
Right.
I don't know if it's still going on. Is emo revival still going on? Is that a thing?
You know what? I don't know what genres are anymore.
Yeah.
There's too many.
Yeah.
It's like another job.
I'll find you some pictures.
Yeah.
Send them around.
You know, I
the pictures do help. The visuals do help.
I had some friends taking me to metal shows recently, and like they'll be discussing all the different genres between the bands, and I'm like, dude, they all sound the same. Like, no, they're totally different. I'm like, no, pretty sure they're not.
But do you think that's the same with punk too?
No, but that's what I was saying to him. It's like when you're in that genre, yeah, you can hear the subtleties. They would do the same with punk rock for sure. But like when you're not a fan of that music and you're just watching these bands, you're like, it's all the same. To me.
Yeah.
I can see that. And then as far as I know, Luther's broken up. I did get to see them at the Republic though, which was kind of cool. For some reason, they played here to like nobody. Maybe, I think they
on
might
a
have,
Wednesday night.
They might have played
December.
at Dave House actually, or with like Bouncing Souls, but there was like no one at the show.
Huh.
And they were awesome.
Was this something you heard like recently or a long time ago?
Well, at least a few years ago.
Yeah.
Because like maybe like probably 4 or 5 years ago, at least, if not more. I don't know. I'm just making up numbers now.
1, 2, 3 sounds good.
Yeah. Anyway, the song's called An American Gothic, and the album's awesome if you get a chance to listen to it.
So it's goth music then?
Yeah, it's goth. I love goth music.
Okay, good. I'm glad we settled. We settled on a
Gothy
genre.
goth glam punk.
That's
Core.
specific.
Core.
That's specific. Yeah, you got to throw core at the end. Okay.
X core.
So my next pick. This is like one of those bands that, like I think it was when Fat like started putting out like those limited edition shirts again. Like they kind of went away from doing that for a while, and then they started doing them again.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Fat Records.
Yeah, I know what Fat Records is.
No, you're gonna have to explain Fat Records to
Fat
me.
Mike, who's the lead singer of NoFX.
Really? He's got a record label?
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
crazy.
Yeah. No, but like there was a time where they did like these limited edition runs of T-shirts, and they would complement like a new album coming out, and so they put out one for Teenage Bottle Rocket when they first signed them, and it was one of those things where I was like, oh, I haven't bought one of these shirts in forever, and it comes with a CD, and I'm just gonna fucking buy it. I'm just gonna roll the dice. And I got the record and was like blown away. And I think that was kind of my introduction to that Ramones core sort of genre, which I've wholeheartedly embraced.
Ramones core, hey?
Yeah, it's a genre.
No, I'm just kidding.
This is getting deep tonight, man. It's getting fucking deep. But yeah, I was totally blown away. And I think it was one of the happenstances of, having zero expectations for something. And then it just kind of, holy shit, this is great. And I would say immediately, I jumped into the back catalog, which was not nearly as good as They Came From the Shadows, which is still, I think, one of their best records.
I fell in love with that album too.
Yeah.
I listened to that whole summer.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great summer record too, right?
Yeah.
Like we talked about, music for seasons, and it's right up there.
Plus, it's a Kiss reference. I was sold.
Yeah.
I got sold on that.
But bigger than Kiss. I think they're making fun of Kiss in that song.
So that worked for me then.
I'm 100% on board with making fun of Kiss.
And I think they keep getting, like, maybe not getting better, but I think they're still, like, putting out great releases. Like Freak Out, I think, was great.
Yeah.
And last year's record, Tales from Wyoming, was really good. And now they're going back to Fat. So maybe another T-shirt in the works.
Oh, fantastic.
Will it be limited, though? Limited?
Well, I don't know.
Actually, I got a bone to pick with the Teenage Bottle Rocket T-shirts. Their merch guy was like, you needed a medium, and I got it back, and it was like, it was the Gilgen scam. And he told me it wasn't Gilgen.
They're the worst.
And he refused to give me change.
So TBR, if you're listening, Mike has an axe to grind with you.
He's his dick.
Okay.
You can edit that
We'll
out.
leave it at that. No, it's staying in.
That should actually precede the show.
Yeah, the merch guy's a dick.
So we've got
Sahara Hot Nights, All Right, All Right.
Luther, An American Gothic.
Teenage Bottle Rocket, Skate or Die.
Tonight, I wanna make a story for my
for all those people wondering, yes, this is Jeff Munt, who used to front Second Floor Daycare.
I was hoping we'd go the whole show without mentioning that. Well, I draw cartoons. Can we talk about that instead?
Well, that's going to be in the next section.
Yes. I'll let you plug your things.
And we decide what you plug.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Let's talk more about the band I don't want to talk about.
Yeah, let's talk all about that.
What would you like to know?
Oh, man. I mean, there are so many questions.
Why are people still emailing me for CDs of yours?
I know, isn't that fucking weird? The amount of fucking emails I get from Japan, like, oh, I want your CD. And I'm like, why would you want our CD? I don't even want my CD.
Well, how many years ago was that?
Oh, God, we put that out 2000?
Yeah, I'd be around there.
Yeah.
Was that the only one? Did you guys do a follow-up?
That was it. Well, we had a shitty album before that we recorded on, I don't know. I can't think what those stupid machines were that
Like
recorded on the
a
VHS.
DAT?
Yeah, exactly. And it was horrible. I mean, like, both were horrible, but it was, like, exceptionally horrible. And people would still fucking request those songs. I'm like, why do you listen to that?
They love what you hate.
Yeah.
So was that the end of the road after Second Floor Daycare? Did you end up playing any other bands?
We had Car Crash by Canoe. Everyone hated our name, but I fucking thought it was hilarious.
You needed to explain the inside part of that.
Oh, well,
that Second Floor Daycare is really like...
Well, no, Second Floor Daycare came from the Oklahoma City bombing.
Yeah.
And, like, we were going to be... Like, I started it with totally different guys in high school, and we wanted to be, like, a Dead Kennedys kind of band, so that's why we chose the title, and then we just became this total fart joke band. So, but it was still kind of relevant.
Blink-182 was already taken, so you went with Second
much.
Floor Daycare?
Well, I mean, it's kind of worked because it was kind of adolescent and childish, so whatever.
Yeah.
But Car Crash by Canoe, that was before... It was sort of like when Nathan and Adam were in the band, started in the band, and we were looking for a band name, and it was before we just decided to recycle Second Floor Daycare for the 6th time. We were just watching news, and that actually came on the the bottom of the screen. It said "Car Crashed by Canoe," and that was the headline. We just thought it was fucking hilarious. So I remembered that. So years later, after Second Floor was done, I was like, "Oh, how about this?" And everyone loved it. I thought everyone would be like, "That's stupid," but like Justin and Jeremy, they thought it was hilarious.
So that was in Calgary, or that was in Vancouver?
In Calgary.
Yeah.
That was the show we were
remember.
talking about earlier when we played to the sound check. It was a Car Crash by Canoe set.
So where does the cartoon thing come from?
Oh, the cartoons I'm doing now?
Yeah.
That was when my last job started going out of business, and they were still giving me like 40 hours a week, but we'd be done 3 hours into the shift. So I just started, like, I'd go hide somewhere and start drawing cartoons and Snapchatting them to people. And then, like, when I stopped doing it, my friends would be like, "Where's the next cartoon?" And I thought, like, well, why don't I take this seriously and start drawing, like, actually putting effort into them, and just I kept rolling with it.
And it's gotten so serious, you've changed your handle from Hooby Booby
Hooby Booby.
Booby Doobie.
Yes, my Instagram is Cartoon Munt, MUNT.
And what was the story
C-A-R?
behind
In case you can't spell cartoon.
Hooby Booby Doobie?
Hooby Booby You
Doobie?
was my name, because when I started Instagram, I was like, I don't even know I'm on this thing. I can't think of anything, so I just did Hooby Booby You. There was no logic behind it.
Okay.
All right, let's get on some music here. Now we all know a little bit too much
now
about
you know
Jeff's
a little bit
Hooby-Boobies.
more about Jeff. Yeah. So Jeff, let's go back to you.
Okay, Brazilian band time.
Okay.
This is a band I guess in a roundabout way discovered through Fest, because when I became interested in Brazil and became interested in Portuguese, I thought, like, I would like to discover some punk bands. So I posted in the Fest group looking for Brazilians, got hooked up with this dude from Rio, who then gave me this huge, gigantic list of bands to go through. And this band just the one that stuck out to me. And yeah, I fucking love them. And then, when I went to Brazil, this is the guys who ended up taking care of me and showing me around, and fucking best time of ever.
See, that's pretty cool, because that's still something I like about punk music.
Yeah.
That is like, is the accessibility of bands and the willingness of people to be like, yeah, so you like punk in like Brazil? Come here. And then you like meet these dudes and you hang out with them and go to shows with like guys that are in bands.
Yeah, literally.
It's such a weird thing.
The singer Rodrigo, I'd only been talking to him for about a week or two before I went, because I've been talking to the guitar player Mateus for months and months. And Rodrigo's like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna come get you at the airport. We're gonna have a barbecue." And yeah, like, that's what he do. Like, I've never met the guy in my life in person, and shows up at the airport late and in the wrong terminal, but he showed up.
Way to go, Rodrigo.
And then
Way to Rodrigo.
But one of my favorite things of that first day is like we're driving back to his house, and it came up that it was my birthday, and he's like, "Oh, fucking awesome, happy birthday, dude!" And we stopped to get gas, and he comes out of the gas station with a bottle of Miller Genuine Draft, and he's like, "Happy birthday, that's your gift." And we're driving down the street, and he's like, "Aren't you gonna drink it?" I'm like, "No, I'm in a car." And he's like, "Dude, it's Brazil. There's no fucking rules." It's like, I can't drink, but you can drink all you want.
That's on their license plate, isn't it? Brazil, there's no fucking rules. Yeah. Very good. Did you get to see their band play while you were there?
They tried to book a show for the night. I was coming in, but they just couldn't make it happen. So, yeah. I went to they had a listening party that night, the first night I got there, because they got a new EP coming out. And that was awesome because it was like all these guys from other punk bands in the city. And like it was just fucking awesome to meet other punk rockers from around the world. And it's the best way honestly, it was the best way to do Sao Paulo.
Is there a lot of punk in Brazil? Like,
there's a ton of really good bands right now.
Really, eh?
Yeah.
It's weird, like with all the accessibility, like we've been talking about. Like, still, most of the bands I would say that I hear of are North American.
Well, I mean, they're all singing in Portuguese, so if you're not searching that out, then
right.
It's gonna go under the radar. And Brazil's a big enough country to support its own music scene.
Yeah, true enough.
I think it's true with their metal scene too, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's a huge music scene all around.
I went with mixtapes.
Oh, nice.
And I'm admittedly late to the mixtapes party because I refused to listen to them because I thought their name was so stupid.
I'm even later to that party.
I actually discovered them and Mass Intruder basically at the same time because I just had a YouTube playlist going and they both came on sort of back to back.
So that's actually how I finally listened to them because I kept reading about them and seeing that they played Fest or doing all in Subfest and all these things and with bands I like. And I was like, that's a stupid name. I won't like them.
But they hate Strung Out too.
That's a weird thing.
Yeah, that lyric, I don't get that.
I like it.
It's a good lyric. But they came on YouTube and I was like, it was a Werewolf Shame, which is a direct hit song actually.
And they actually like their version better.
Yeah, and that's what I went with. And I'm like, this is great. Who is this? And I looked and I was like, mixtapes. Damn.
Yeah, so, I mean, it's a nice balance between the girl that sings and the,
I
guy
love
that
Mara's
sings.
voice. I think it's awesome. I can't wait for it. She's doing a new band with Mike Park.
Oh, really?
Which I'm really stoked. I think it's coming out next month.
Cool. So Slow Gherkin too? No?
I don't think he was in Slow Gherkin, was he?
I don't know. But wasn't that an Asian man band?
Yeah.
Yeah. Good enough.
I remember at Fest 13, my buddy Russian Tim posted on Facebook. He's like, I just met Maura. She told me to fuck off. She's the coolest.
I believe it. She seems like just one of those like cool people. Yeah, anyway, after that YouTube thing, I just got hooked and I went and got all the albums and got into it. So
I actually still haven't heard the first album.
It's good. I mean, they're all relatively the same. Sometimes it's a little bit overproduced, I think, for me, but I think it's her voice just makes everything better. And I do like their lyrics a lot.
And they play off each other well.
Yeah, that's just it. It works so well.
Mm-hmm.
Like if it was just him, I think it would be like they'd just be like another one of like Wonder Years kind of like where you like the songs, but it's not like overly impressive, I guess is the word.
Yeah.
Yeah, impressive. I'll use that.
Overly impressive.
I'm all over the place today.
All right.
Did I take your cold medicine?
I've seen you doing something with something earlier. Okay, so this one I might get a little burned for, but I don't really give a fuck. So this was one of those bands.
This better be bad by that introduction.
This is one of those bands that I saw, I think, for the first time at like the first Warped Tour I went to. Like before it came to Calgary, I had to go fly to London, Ontario to go see it. And I went by myself and I saw this band play and was just like instantly blown away and got their CD. And the band, like, I've stuck with them throughout the years. They are no longer now. But this was definitely the highlight of the band. The album was Destruction by Definition, the band's Suicide Machines. And I had the absolute privilege of seeing them play Rockfest like 2-3 years ago maybe, and I mean it's just Jay Navarro, he's the only one left in the band, but it was the Suicide Machines and they played a bunch of Suicide
Those
Machine
first two
songs.
Suicide Machine albums are awesome. They still hold up for me. I don't know if it's nostalgia, but they still hold up for me.
I actually never listened to them. I did see them at Riot Fest, I don't know, like 5 or 6 years ago before it became the festival.
Yeah,
they played like some album front to back, and everyone
It
was
was probably this one.
Yeah, everyone was excited, but I mean, it was a good show. I didn't know who they were.
They were actually, because your band opened for them.
Yes.
And they were actually really cool guys too.
Yeah, they were.
Which was really nice too.
Yeah.
So I always like when a band, and they were like popular enough at that time that they could have been dicks. It's always nice when you like meet a guy and they're not a complete asshole.
Yeah. Well, this album still stands up, and like probably one of my, I would say, top 10 albums
all
ever.
time.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a bold statement.
I love this record. So the song I picked, a lot of the songs I picked, I think, are the track ones, because they were kind of that first song that just stuck out to me listening to the album. So it's the first song's the first song's New Girl. So we got.
Oh God, it's time for me to speak Portuguese.
You made this list. You realize that, right? No one forced you to make this
I think he
list.
just came on here to brag that he can speak some Japanese, some Korean, some Portuguese.
I did not pick a Korean band. If I wanted to brag, it would have been 5 Korean bands.
We're going to discuss how many languages Jeff speaks after the break.
Chuva Negra, esta casa mata fascistas.
What does that mean?
It means this house kills fascists.
Okay.
Topical. Mixtapes, Werewolf Shame.
Suicide Machine's New Girl.
Essa semana nos deixou pra trás e ainda não é o fim do mês. Essa inocência pode nos matar.
way, as far as they could go. At least I told them so. It bounds like hammer strokes inside my chest and throat. From this book I will quote, but no, it's just a Grace note. I don't wanna be a werewolf in disguise. I don't wanna cause problems with their minds. I don't wanna wake up 1,000 times. I don't wanna sleep under the moonlight. I don't wanna fear silver bullets. I don't wanna hear, why don't you cool it? I might need your sympathy right now.
Somebody's gonna said you make